All right, so picture this. You're the Polish government, and you're getting ready to host a really, really important event,
Mm-hmm.
the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz.
Huge.
It's a somber occasion. It's a time for reflection and commemoration of, one of the most horrific tragedies in human history.
Absolutely.
But then there's a twist.
Okay.
A world leader who's facing an international arrest warrant wants to come.
Oh.
What do you do? I mean,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
this is exactly what Poland is dealing with right now with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah, this is a truly unprecedented situation. We're talking about the International Criminal Court, the ICC issuing an arrest warrant for a sitting prime minister, and Poland as a signatory to the Rome Statute. The treaty that established the ICC is legally obligated to execute that warrant if Netanyahu sets foot on Polish soil.
It's a diplomatic nightmare, isn't it? It's not just some, like, diplomatic faux pas. We're talking about a potential arrest during a highly symbolic event, one that's meant to honor the memory of millions of victims of the Holocaust.
Absolutely, and the timing really couldn't be more sensitive. The 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz is a momentous occasion. It's usually a time for world leaders to come together and reaffirm their commitment to never again. But now this event is overshadowed by this legal and diplomatic quagmire.
Yeah, I mean, how did we even get here? What led to the ICC issuing this warrant in the first place?
Well, the warrant was issued in November 2024, and it names both Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. And while the specific charges haven't been officially disclosed, it's safe to assume that they're related to the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict and potentially involve allegations of war crimes or crimes against humanity.
So for those of us listening who maybe aren't legal experts,
Hmm.
can you break down what the ICC is and how it works? What does it mean for Poland to be bound by this Rome Statute?
Sure. So the ICC is essentially a global court of last resort. It's designed to prosecute individuals for the most serious international crimes, things like genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes when national courts are unable or unwilling to do so. Being a party to the Rome Statute means that Poland is legally obligated to cooperate with the ICC's investigations and rulings, including enforcing arrest warrants.
So it's not just a matter of Poland choosing to honor the warrant or not. They're legally bound to arrest Netanyahu if he attends.
Exactly, and that's what makes this situation so tricky for Poland. They have a legal obligation to uphold the ICC's authority, but doing so could potentially damage their relationship with Israel, a key ally, and could spark international criticism.
So ignoring the warrant isn't really an option for Poland then?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
It puts them in a very difficult position.
Yeah, it sounds like they're really caught between a rock and a hard place.
Precisely, and it raises an important question. Has the ICC bitten off more than it can chew with this warrant? The ICC has faced criticism in the past for primarily targeting leaders from African countries, going after a prominent figure like Netanyahu from a country with strong international support could be a turning point for the court, either strengthening or weakening its legitimacy depending on how this plays out.
That's an interesting point. You bring up the ICC's history, and it makes me think, haven't there been cases in the past where other high-profile figures have just ignored ICC warrants and faced no real consequences?
Yes, there have been instances where individuals indicted by the ICC have traveled to countries that are signatories to the Rome Statute without being arrested. However, each situation is unique and depends on complex political and diplomatic considerations.
I guess in this case, with the global spotlight on the Auschwitz commemoration, ignoring the warrant would be particularly difficult for Poland.
Absolutely, the optics of it would be terrible. Imagine the headlines: Poland snubs international law to host accused war criminal. The potential damage to Poland's reputation would be immense.
So back to the event itself. What kind of impact is this likely to have? Will Netanyahu actually risk showing up and facing arrest?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? So far, Israel has confirmed that Education Minister Yoav Kish will be attending the commemoration. However, they've remained tight-lipped about whether Netanyahu or even President Isaac Herzog will be there.
It just, adds this whole other layer of, tension and uncertainty to an event that's supposed to be about, solemn remembrance.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I imagine the security measures around the event will be heightened given the circumstances.
Oh, absolutely. Polish authorities are going to be on high alert,
Yeah.
and the presence of Israeli security personnel will likely be significant.
Yeah, it's a shame because it shifts the focus away from what really matters.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine what it must be like for Holocaust survivors and their families who are planning to attend this event. The focus should be on honoring the past, not on this political drama.
You're absolutely right. And this brings us to a larger question about the effectiveness of international justice mechanisms. Can justice truly be served without jeopardizing international relations and potentially overshadowing events of such historical significance? It's a difficult dilemma with no easy answers.
It really is. This situation has certainly given us a lot to think about. It's a stark reminder of the complexities of international law diplomacy and the delicate balance between national interests and global obligations.
You know what's fascinating here is that this event meant to commemorate a dark chapter in history has become intertwined with present-day geopolitical tensions in a way that no one could have predicted. It will be interesting to see how Poland navigates this tricky situation and what message it sends about the ICC's power and reach on the world stage.
It really will be. Thanks for breaking this all down for us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners out there, what do you think? How should Poland handle this? Let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Until next time,
See ya.
stay curious.